Mike?
Thank you, Loris, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, change. Change. How do you keep track of all this change? Change is upon us in the technology scene in a way that perhaps is unheralded in the past. I spent the last 8 years working for Microsoft trying to help people deal with this change of how things happen, what's going on inside the technology scene. New APIs, new SDKs, new ways of going out and working with different types of technology, working with data, working with information, working with identity. I was at a user group meeting down in Des Moines, Iowa once, a few years back, and we were talking about .NET 2.5 or 2.0 had just come out, and this was the great new thing. It was wonderful because you're now using Visual Studio 2005, and it's Visual Basic, and it's all this great stuff. And what was interesting was trying to get people to understand what's the difference between the old way and the new way of doing things, and why do you care? A lot of my job was really trying to help people understand, why should I care about this? And so we were talking about the efficiency and the amount of code you have to write to go out and do certain kinds of tests. So I asked a simple question. I said, so how can you tell if someone else is on the network and that the server's online? How do you do it? Anyone? You ping it, right. So very simple. How do you ping it? How do you ping in code? Okay. Now in .NET 1.1, how do you ping it in code? Well, actually it's a little more complex than that because now we're codifying it. But it's actually pretty simple. You go out and you include the appropriate library, you go out and create the structure, you go out and fill it, you call the buffer, you then unpack the wide chart or the thin chart, you make a couple other calls, and it's actually very simple, and then you repeat the call as many times as you need to. The guy in the back of the room raises his hand and says, yeah, he says, actually, I just did that. I just wrote that code for work. So that's cool. His name's Javier Lozano. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him, but he's a technology guy from down in Iowa. And he actually had his laptop, and he said, well, it's right here, I've got the code right here. So he opened up his laptop, and the interesting thing about it was that the ping function started at line 38 and finished at line 153. And I said, okay, well now in .NET 2.0, here's how you ping to find out, using the new framework. You do my.computer.ping with results, and then who do you want to ping? And you say if it's equal to whatever, and you've got all these extra things. But the thing is instead of writing that much code, you're now writing that much code. And so as a developer manager, someone who hires and works with technology people, I would much rather have them focus on the business and the challenges and intricacies of how they can be more competitive and responding to the needs of those businesses than going out and maintaining that much code. That's just one example. But over the years, I've seen that happen again and again and again, where the way that we do different kinds of technology things evolves. And all of a sudden, instead of writing that much code to go out and do your login screen, we now just drag a control on the page. Guess what? Forms management or forms-based authentication with .NET 2.0 was like just drag a login page and you're done. You don't even write any code anymore. It's just all configuration-based, which is great because now we have forms-based authentication. And the thing about forms-based authentication is it's super simple. It's based on a provider model, works on the .NET framework, so you've got all these things that makes it easy to go out and keep track of profiles, keep track of roles. If I want to find out if someone is in a particular role, all I have to do is say, is in role on the principal, and it'll go back and say, yes, you are, or no, you're not. Simple, easy. Well, it's simple and easy as long as you've got the usernames and the passwords in that database that you create for every application you build. Challenge is, what if you have more than one application? Well, actually, that's not so bad. All you do is just point to all those form-based authentication to the same provider database, and now you're all set up and you can go into business and everything's great because all of the applications you've got can all run off that same set of data. But what if one of those applications isn't in your domain or isn't on your part of your company? Maybe you're working with partners or you've got vendors. oh, the scourge of society. The consultants come in and they build out these solutions and systems, and they're all complex. And instead of writing that much code, they've got all this really what do we call it? Um, a lot of elegant code. What is that? That's code for it's speak for it's the nomenclature of impossible support, crazy, and whatever. The challenge is how do I handle, like, for instance, I need to be able to send out an email to the manager of the particular person who's logged in. How do I go out and do that? Well, we've gone from being able to have a single identity database into where we have a need for federated or shared identity across multiple organizations. I need to be able to do this in a way that isn't just tied to simple role-based questions, but I might have claims that I need to keep track of. What's the difference between a claim and a role? Well, a role is just a claim, but there's other types of claims that you might have. And so from Microsoft and in general, just inside of the technology world, there's been an evolution in the whole identity story, and there's been a lot of changes, a lot of things that are coming along. So as a developer, you spend a lot of time deciding where am I going to go out and invest my time? What should I go out and what should I be putting my time into? Is identity important to you? Is it important to the applications that you build? Is understanding the tools and how you can make it work better for your application, is that something that you care about? Would you rather have your developers out writing just tons of code? Or is finding a way to handle all that change and to pull it back together and to manage it so that you can use this in a way that benefits your organization? I give you the change, and you can do what you need to. Mr. Postmaster.